Well, good morning and welcome one and all to the Namaquo Unitarian Universalist Congregation. My name is Laurel Liefert, and I serve as the minister of this caring, generous, justice-seeking community of seekers. We are a people who know that we do not need to think alike to love alike. And whether you come today with joy in your heart or tears, we bid you welcome. It's good to be together. I wonder if there are any first-time visitors, and if so, you could unmute and say hello, or if you feel shy, if you're interested in receiving more information about our congregation and would like to be on our email list, why don't you go ahead and type your information of your name and email address in the chat box. And since we're still in the time of the pandemic, why we are doing Zurch instead of church in our sanctuary. Sarah is our Zoomer today, and she will keep all of us muted except when we give instructions otherwise, such as during Joys and Sorrows, and at the end when we have our virtual coffee hour. Also, this service will be recorded, so anyone who can't be physically with us today, or if you want to tell friends about this community, you are welcome to let them know that the services are all recorded and posted at our website. I wonder if any of you were able to attend the transgender concert. I sent around the information about it early in the week. If we were in typical times on November 20th, for the past several years, we have had a vigil to honor the transgender people who have lost their lives in the last year. And it's always a very, very beautiful, moving ritual with candles. And so I just wanted to acknowledge the Transgender Day of Remembrance. And now, introducing our wonderful worship associate for today, Trish Murtha, who will do our chalice lighting.
May morning be astir with the harvest of night, your mind quickening to the arrows of a new question, your eyes seduced by some unintended glimpse that cut right through the surface to a source. May this be a morning of innocent beginning, when the gift within you slips clear of the sticky web of the personal, with its hurt and its hauntings and fixed fortress corners. A morning when you become a pure vessel for what wants to descend from silence. May your imagination know the grace of perfect danger to reach beyond imitation and the wheel of repetition, deep into the call of all the unfinished and unsolved, until the veil of the unknown yields and something original begins to stir toward our senses and grow stronger in your heart. In order to come to birth in a clean line of form that claims from time a rhythm not yet heard, that calls space to a different shape. May it be its own force field and dwell uniquely between the heart and the light, to surprise the hungry eye by how deftly it fits about its secret loss. Come, let us worship together and recite our congregational affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its call. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
And to begin our service on medicine that heals, what wondrous love is this?
Wondrous love. I think it's wondrous love that we find an artist brings to the table, to the canvas, to the clay, to the fabric, when we sit down and decide to create something. It's out of love for something unknown. This morning we have some treasures to share with you from young people in our congregation, from quite young to getting a little older. And I want to thank in advance Henrik, Elena, and Emily, Aiden, Milo, and Cora, Julie, and Lizzie for their creative adventures and for their willingness to share them with us today.
Three, two, one, go. Hi, this is my piece of art that I did. It's a Hot Wheels jump. So they go around the loop, jumps over the this lava in the canyon. Little ledge there. Yeah, there. Three, two.
That is, oh, no.
Hi, Cora. You did an artwork you're going to share. Tell me about it. Can you describe it?
Was it an orange? What did it describe?
A blueberry.
It's a blueberry. And what parts of the blueberry did you draw?
Roots and blues.
Yay!
Hi, I'm Henrik. This drawing took me 3 days to do. His name's Joe. It's from an anime series, and pretty proud of it.
Hi, I'm Elena. I drew this painting when I went camping with my family. It took 1 day to paint it, and I call it Fox by the River. My name is Aria. Draw Mama. They have a dress in the face. Here draw have hair, face, eyes, and mouth, nose, hands, and shoes.
Mhm.
I drew this to show that sometimes it's hard to show our true colors, but it's easier to say we're okay when we're not. So I kind of was just expressing how I felt.
Hello. So this collection of skulls came out after an incredibly difficult junior year in college. There were campus suicides and deaths, family deaths, and as a resident assistant, I was also dealing with the fallout of the emotional toll the suicides had on my residents. I was in a printmaking class along with a few other art courses. In this print class, though, the timing of these skulls was around the suicide and first family death. So I was already dealing with not only my own loss, but the emotions of everyone else who needed me for support in my residence hall over the suicides. had just started out as me wanting to create skulls on top of human forms. I don't know where it came from. In total, I had about 11 different skulls. And at the very end, it also included a 7-foot-tall Wendigo. And I'll be honest with you, I never really realized what I had been using. I had been using these creations as a healing tool until Trish pointed it out to me earlier this week. But looking back at that time, being able to keep my hands sturdy and still creating, even though some days I didn't want to get out of bed or answer my door to help residents in need, it helped me to push through to the rest of the school year. Looking at these old prints, it made me realize that even though I did not recognize it at the time, my mind and body were seeking some form of release from death by observing life at its core. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, artists. That was gorgeous.
I think Aiden had something to say about his Black Lives Matters art.
Okay,
let's
hear from you, Aiden.
Okay.
If you don't want to, it's okay, Aiden. But you drew a really wonderful picture, and we are all for Black Lives Matter, so thank you for your contribution. We have some blooming artists in our midst.
Mm-hmm. And we have a poem from Julie. Julie, do you want to read this or shall I?
Either way.
Could we hear your voice, love?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Dear friend, I'm on an epic battle, even if you may not see, but I'm fighting my own body and I'm losing painfully. This chronic illness will chase me to the grave, but I still have a choice of the path that I will pave. I don't have cancer, hell, I don't have the flu. I just wanted you to see what I have to go through. I will wake up tomorrow hurting. I will wake in pain today. Pain will be forever. It won't ever truly go away. People think I'm faking, like attention is my game. Some days I don't want to tell you. For no reason I feel shame. I have to take a ton of meds just to sort of feel all right. But no matter what I do, I have to push hard to get through life. I could lie down my weapons. I will not win tonight. But I am a warrior, and chronic illness is my fight.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Julie's up in Idaho. She's part of our community, and I'm so glad you can join us on Zoom. We have an outstanding group of worship associates like Trish, and every year we have a formal investiture, which is what we're going to do next. I would like to introduce all of the worship associates, and so if all of you would please go on speaker view up in your upper right-hand corner of your screen, and then worship associates, if you could please all unmute. And when I call out your name, if you can just say hello or, my dog, say hello or good morning so that your box will light up like mine is now. So worship associates of 2020, 2021. We have Chad Escalier.
Good morning. Happy Sunday.
Thank you. And Elizabeth Frazier.
I don't know if you can hear me, but good morning. It's good to see you all.
We can hear you. Janet Gillette.
Good morning.
Kathy Hartman. Maybe she's not with us today. Susan Moody. Susan, are you here? Trish, Murtha.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Hi,
Oh,
Susan.
you're here. Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
I'm here too.
Oh. Quick draw, our quick draw worship associates. Trish
Good morning, everyone.
and Mim Neal.
Good morning.
There we go. Fred Schreckinger.
Good morning.
Fred. Doug Stewart.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
And Janin Wright.
Happy holiday season, everybody.
Thank you. And so now I have asked Chad to represent the worship associates. So all of you worship associates, go ahead and turn your mics off, all except for Chad. And please do say the words out loud, but it's too crazy if we have too many voices. And then Fran at the last minute accepted my invitation to represent the congregation. So if we were in our sanctuary, the worship associates would all be up front on the chancel and the congregation would be in the pews. The crafting of worship is work that is real, stories that will heal. In worship, word and dream, song and deed are woven into the fabric of wonder.
We charge you to be weavers.
This weaving we will do. Speak to us, tell of us your dreams, that we may remind you of them, that we may help bring them to fruition.
As the minister of this congregation, I'm the one who bears the burden of prayers, of keeping hope alive, and in whom the congregation places their trust. I now place my trust in you. I enlist your courage. I invoke your wisdom. I pledge my support and cooperation.
We call you now into a deeper ministry. We ask you to remember each of us, for each and all need healing, and each and all are worthy and beautiful. We charge you to reflect upon both brokenness and beauty as you help to weave the fabric of our community.
This compassion we will cultivate, this care we will strive to accomplish. We will listen for songs in the night. We will watch what you do and what you refrain from doing. For your deeds and your songs, your dreams and your words are the work of our hearts.
Go now.
Go ahead.
Be weavers of worth. Speak with us, dream with us, sing with us, drive with us. Your trust, our trust in you is a gift freely given.
Thank you, Fran and Chad. And this is something that we take very seriously. And I think that probably the Worship Associate program embodies as much as anything the heart of our community and of our shared ministry. So thank you all. And for our joys and sorrows today, we'll do it the traditional way, where if you would like to share a joy or sorrow, well, please be brief. We've got a lot going on this service, but we do want to know what's going on in your personal lives. And so if you have a joy or sorrow to share, please raise your hand or somehow indicate that you would like to speak. And I will transfer the pebbles from this bowl into this that represents the embrace of our community. Alice?
I have a sorrow. My brother Jim died of cancer last Monday. He was 67.
Oh, Alice, our hearts go out to you. And may he have a safe passage. Blessings on Jim. Kent? You need to unmute, Kent. And Rainey, you'll be next.
My cousin Cork was his nickname. Died. He lived in Eckley, Colorado. He was 10 years older than me, and I enjoyed him very much. He played the cornet, and he inspired me to learn to play the cornet and get into band. And he's had a great sense of humor. And I'm sorry that he's passed on now. He's died, but I'm glad I got to know him.
This is for your cousin, and what was his name?
His nickname was Cork, C-O-R-K.
Okay, well, here's for Cork. I'm glad you had a good cousin like that, Kent.
Thank you.
And Renee?
I have joy this morning. Many of you know that we moved to Good Samaritan, Loveland Village here in Loveland this year. And I'm overly impressed with the staff here and their caring and how safe they've made this community for us. And we just feel really blessed to be here. And with this being Thanksgiving week, and we have family in Colorado, but we haven't seen them since the virus has hit and won't be with them this week. But for Thanksgiving dinner here, in order to keep us safe, we can have it delivered to our door, as we can all our meals. So we've ordered our turkey dinner to be delivered right to our front door. And it's such a blessing to be in this atmosphere.
It's really great. Good for you and John. Landed in a good place. Barbara?
I am adjusting to this oxygen situation grudgingly, but beginning to get used to it. And it's interesting because the cat thinks this tubing I'm trailing around is a toy fairly often. So we have some discussions about that. But next week, I expect to get a portable unit, which will allow me to go out into the world.
I'm glad you and Shadow are working it out. Thank you. Janet?
Okay, good news and bad news. Good news is I got a job. Bad news is I had to quit it on the second day because it wasn't safe. So I'm back to square one again. But I'm still breathing, so there's still hope.
All right. Well, congratulations, and then what a bummer. And Liz Sunderland said in the chat that she was scheduled for gallbladder surgery tomorrow, but because of COVID.
Yeah. Actually, this is Angela. So it's Angela that. Yeah, not Liz. But our cases in Denver are extremely high, and the governor said that in Denver, or the mayor, I can't remember who, was 1 in 50 cases in Denver. And so they they postponed my surgery because of that. But in other news, Liz is coming back home to work because of that situation as well. So we're happy that she's coming back home through the end of the semester to teach. She was in person.
Wow. Well, I hope you're not in too much pain, Angela.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else I can't see? Oh, and then we've got Hannah and Michael and Harmony, their new little baby girl. Our joy is that we are so thankful and grateful for our community. Thanks to everyone who has sent us baby gifts, cards, lots of love and meals. That's what we're about here. Anybody else? And thank you again to all of the artists and Aiden for putting what you were going to say in the chat. It really means a lot to us. So I'm going to put in a couple more to represent the comfort that we send out to those who are hurting, and we celebrate with those who have joys to share. And as always, I have lit behind me the candles representing the joys and sorrows beyond, out into the world. And if you'll join me in saying, in our joy and in our sorrow, we are not alone. In our joy and in our sorrow, we are not alone. Trish and I will now give you a medley of readings on our theme of healing. And so keep in mind the spirit of the song, What Wondrous Love Is This? It's not forgetting that heals, it's remembering.
Pema Chodron shares with us, we think the point is to pass the test or overcome the problem. But the truth is that things don't really get solved. They come together and they fall apart. Then they come together again and fall apart again. It's just like that. The healing comes from letting there be room for all of this to happen. Room for grief, for relief, for misery, for joy.
Writer Anne Lamott. You will lose someone you can't live without, and your heart will be badly broken. And the bad news is that you never completely get over the loss of your beloved. But this is also the good news. They live forever in your broken heart that doesn't seal back up, and you come through. It's like having a broken leg that never heals perfectly, that still hurts when the weather gets cold, but you learn to dance with the limp.
Carl Jung encourages us to embrace your grief, for there your soul will grow.
Dr. Rachel Naomi Remen, wounding and healing are not opposites. They're part of the same thing. It is our wounds that enable us to be compassionate with the wounds of others. It is our limitations that make us kind to the limitations of other people. It is our loneliness that helps us to find other people or to even know they're alone with an illness. I think I have served people perfectly with parts of myself I used to be ashamed of.
And Rumi, always poetic, the breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the door sill. Where the two worlds touch, the door is round and open. Don't go back to sleep.
I've had a lot of problems in my life, and most of them never happened.
From our wonderful Wendell Berry in his work, The Body and the Earth. Healing is impossible in loneliness. It is the opposite of loneliness. Conviviality is healing. To heal, we must come with all the other creatures to the feast of creation.
Reverend Vanessa Southern, who's the UU minister in San Francisco. Your body won't do what it used to. For right now, let it be enough. If your mind won't stop racing or can't think of the word, let it be enough. If you are here utterly alone and in despair, be all that here with us. If today you cannot sing because your throat hurts or you don't have the heart for music, be silent. The world won't stop spinning on her axis if you don't rise to all occasions today. Love won't cease to flow in your direction. Your heart won't stop beating. All hope won't be lost.
And Rumi again. Where there is ruin, there is hope for a treasure.
Robert Brault. Life becomes easier when you learn to accept an apology you've never got.
And finally, from Wendy Moss, be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about.
What wondrous love is this? Oh, my soul. It feels especially appropriate that our half plate recipient for this quarter is Alternatives to Violence, because they're all about healing and providing places of safety. They provide shelter, advocacy, education, and other resources for people who are impacted by domestic violence, assault, human trafficking. So our Zoomer will put the donate button up, and you're welcome to donate online. You can always send your collection donation to our church. And I would really like to have you enjoy the next song. It's by Melanie DeMore, performed with the pianist Julie Wolfe, and it's called Sending You Light.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter where you go, no matter where you've been, you'll never walk alone. I feel you deep within. So I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter what you feel or what you choose to show, I'm always there for you. And so I want you to know that I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I walk the path with you, Go slow, dear one, don't hurry. I'll go just like you need to go. There is no need to worry. 'Cause I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
You're on mute, Laurel.
I said I have some sad news, which is that Sharon Reef, who has been a member of Namaqua and who was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer at the beginning of this year, has died. She died on Saturday, and her children, Jessica's husband, Mike, her faithful, devoted son, Alex, as well as her mother and her sister have been here. And that song is what I would like us to send to Sharon for her safe passage, and to her family, and to all of us who loved Sharon and are grieving this loss. So we are sending them light to heal them, to hold them, sending them light to hold them in love. So I'll be talking to her children later today to figure out what we'll do about a service. So I'm sorry to share the news with you, but the beautiful thing about community is that we don't have to do it alone. We're here for each other. So thank you all for that. And I'll bless this offering with the words that we dedicate ourselves, and these are offerings to the work of this congregation, or to the vision of this congregation, which is to radiate love, peace, and justice, as together we work to build a beloved community. I have a true story that I've carried with me for many years, and Trish reminded me of it the other day as we were preparing our service, about medicine that heals. It's about a whale. It was a number of years ago when a fisherman spotted a female humpback whale just outside the Golden Gate of San Francisco Bay. The whale was struggling to just stay afloat because it was weighted down by hundreds of yards of rope. It was wrapped around her torso, her tail. It was tugging at her mouth. And the fisherman, after he saw her, radioed to an environmental group in the area. And so the rescue team went out and found her. And as soon as they saw her, they realized that the only way that they could save her was to dive into the water and to untangle her from the ropes and the weights, one rope, one trap at a time. And they knew that this was very risky because the whale was nearly 50 feet long and she weighed 50 tons. So one slap of her tail could kill the divers. But they dove in anyway. So in the cold water, they worked, cutting and sawing through the lines of rope. And the diver who cut the rope out of her mouth said that her eye was watching him the whole time. When I saw Julie's painting this morning of her eye, I thought of the whale's eye watching the diver. After hours and hours in the cold water, finally all the ropes were cut away. And so the divers moved away, treading water, wondering now that she was free, what was she going to do? Well, they watched in amazement as she started swimming around and around and around in circles that looked like she was swimming with circles of joy. And then she went up to each of them and she nudged them and turned them around as if she was thanking them. The divers said that they will never forget that experience. And it was one of those experiences that changed their lives. Touching them, saying thank you. And I love this true story. And I also can see it as a parable about us in community, where each of us at different times can play all of the parts. Sometimes we're the stranded whale, tied down and weighted by metaphorical ropes and traps. And sometimes we're the fishermen who can alert me or the pastoral care team or friends that someone is in trouble. Sometimes we're the divers, we're the rescuers who respond to the call for help and help untangle the whale. And we can be the whale, freed, joyful and grateful to be alive. And that's the medicine that we want to offer you all today, is the sweet healing medicine of being in community and of the connections that we make, that we weave together here. In our joy and in our sorrows, we are not alone. What wondrous love is this? No matter where you go, no matter where you've been, you'll never walk alone. We are sending you light to heal you, to hold you. We are sending you light to hold you in love. Whenever I think of people playing different parts at different times in our lives, I always think of that Mary Chapin Carpenter line in one of her songs. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. But I want to warn you that after experiencing life in a community like this one, you'll never be the same. And I tell you, don't settle for less. So being here together, looking out for one another, is the medicine that heals. Thank you.
Oh, Laurel, I too love that whale. Good morning, good people. My name is Trish Murtha, which you already knew. I use the pronouns she, her, and hers. Today, I humbly speak to you as a fledgling worship associate, and I do mean humble. Laurel shared a story that started with a fisherman, and I have a very short Irish prayer that's also from a fisherman before he starts out on his day. Dear Lord, be good to me. The ocean is so wide and my boat is so small. I imagine the fisherman steering his small boat out into the vast sea. His sails are full and they propel his boat with hope and vision of the many days of sustenance he might provide for his family. For a while now, these words describe how I'm feeling about the current state of the world. Ocean so wide, boat so small. Some of you may agree. The words in our brave fisherman's prayer imply risk-taking, survival, and love. I also sense a groundswell of need building among us, lurking in the pandemic and our isolation from each other. I hear a plea, heal me. It emanates from our collective body, mind, spirit, and relationship. Carl Jung was one of many analysts who studied the human psyche and how we heal brokenness. He concluded that restoring wholeness is impossible without spirituality. Sean McNiff is a current Jungian practitioner, and he adds that a person is incomplete without a creative practice, as if we are a gaping hole, a chain link fence with a gaping hole, unless we add that to our lives. As a teacher, I've had so many students sign up for a quick how-to art class. They end up staying for the healing, and it is profound. I wonder if you noticed that the title of the John O'Donohue piece we included in the service earlier is For the Artist at the Start of Day. So why would Laurel and I choose a piece written for artists when only some of us are? O'Donohue's eloquent, unique words ring out joyous possibility for all of us. May your imagination know the grace of perfect danger. In this, he implies that we all have available to us the source of creativity every morning, but that it is found on the threshold of risk-taking. I couldn't agree more. I often hear people say, oh, I could never do what you do. I'm not at all creative. If you're one of those, I have some strong words for you. You are wrong. Are you not one who risked learning to walk, falling down countless times, then run, then ride a bike, to climb a tree, fly a kite, paint, draw, talk, eat, play, lots of play. You have taken many risks in your lifetime and learned so many new skills. You have unquenchable curiosity. It's innate within you. You develop individual skills with intention, with inspiration, and ingenuity. I never really considered being an artist. I've got an Old English degree. I did some hobby sketching and taught myself calligraphy. Then one day, as I stumbled through a very frightening period in my life for my family, I picked up my son's Crayola paint box and opened the lid. I filled a cup of water and sat down at the kitchen table with a blank piece of paper. I literally gasped when I first saw the movement of the color and the water together. Within a week, I'd set aside any fear of failure and judgment and jumped into a local class. The act of painting immediately delighted me. Without hesitation, I know that the act of painting saved me. Precious moments of respite took hold in me, and the calming impact trickled down through my whole family. I struggled with the new language of making art, but eventually, after many attempts and paintings I tossed in the trash, I gained some skills. As we all healed, it was never about what I produced on my paper. It was me admitting to the layers of pain and the fear residing in me, to my broken spirit, to my broken family. Where is this headed, you might ask? The kind of healing I'm pointing to will absolutely not begin until we touch our emotional broken places. Go ahead, reach inside and feel them. There is urgent need to care for your broken spirit, your broken heart. We can then share our healing within a trusted community. This intentional act may shake us violently, but together we can stretch with reinforced courage. When we falter and feel lost, others are nearby. I don't know if it's appropriate in church, but I dare you to try something new and then to meet me, perhaps at Wendell Berry's Feast of Creation. And we'll inspire and uplift each other. The world needs us to find resolve and ideas that we may not have discovered yet. 11 years ago, I corralled some hefty health, and unplanned, I crammed all my earthly possessions into a 22-foot Penske moving van. I headed this way on an 1,800-mile solo voyage, driving from Philadelphia. The move was a quick decision made after a series of unwelcome dilemmas that couldn't be resolved back east. My shattered soul gripped the steering wheel and somehow guided me west between naps, coffee, potty stops, audiobooks, and piles of CDs. I conducted entire orchestras from high in my Penske perch. I nearly wore out Melissa Etheridge, who helped me embrace my broken spaces, singing Heal Me. I want to share that with you as a rockin' closing to today's service. I bounced in the cab of the truck and we sang it together. Ain't it crazy? For a moment there, this felt just like dying. May you heal. May it be so.
The last song on the Skin album, I was coming to the end of Skin, and I remember the producer, David Cole, said to me, and he goes, you know, I think maybe you need to tell people that you're going to be okay. He had been there through the whole breakup. I started working on the album with him. I would go to the studio. It was the Village down in West LA, and he would I'd go in there and I'd just close myself in and spend all day making music, and it really healed me. And so I took his advice, and I went back and I wrote a song, and this is about changes. This is about those hard changes that we go through that hurt so much, and we think we're gonna die. We think we can't possibly get through it. But then you do. And what comes after is so amazing. It's more than you could ever have imagined. And that's what happened here. Heal me for you, okay? Ain't it crazy? For a moment there, this felt just like dying. But now I see that something inside is coming alive. Ain't it crazy? Running from a revolution, I just surrender to this evolution. Heal me, lift me, take me to the other side. Amazing grace has touched my face, and the sweet sound doesn't die. Yeah. Ain't it crazy? Heal me, lift me, take me to the other side. I'll take what I learned, these lessons I've learned. I'm ready for the ride. Heal me, lift me, take me, and my soul will fly. My battered heart is gonna make a new start. Let everyone know I'll be coming home again. Well, heal me, oh, lift me, oh, take me to the water side. Drop me in there, come on, watch me swim. Let everyone know I'll be coming home again. Oh, yeah. Let everyone know I'll be coming home again.
Yeah. All right, Trish. Let's extinguish this chalice. Now we got the medicine that heals swirling around.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Leonard Cohen in his song Anthem. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's where the light comes in. I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I'm sending you light to hold you love. Well, we're going to continue our journey of healing next week in a service called Grief and Healing. The worship associates, Kathy Hartman and Susan Moody, share something in common, which is that both of them lost their husbands way too young. And so they will take you along with them on their journey of healing. Also, for those of you who are alone or lonely, the pastoral care team last week got an idea of creating a buddy system here at Namakwa. And so we would like to invite those of you who would like to have, say, a regular call once a week, just to check in and to listen what's going on in your life, to write the pastoral care team and let us know. And if you're willing to be one of the callers and to participate in our new Namakwa Buddy system, you also are invited to write. And so the pastoral care team can be reached through an email that's just called pastoralcare@namakwau.org. So pastoralcare@namakwau.org. And we hope that this will be a good way to increase the connections and the strength of our interdependent web. Also, we used to have a birthday calendar that was on when you first walked into the social hall, because we do like to send birthday cards. And so if any of you have not let us know when your anniversaries and birthdays are, could you please write to newsletter@namakwau.org. So it's newsletter@namakwau.org so that we can know when to celebrate occasions like birthdays and anniversaries with you. And I have a trip starting tomorrow, Francie and I are going to hit the road. We're a little bit nervous about it, but we are going to California to spend both Thanksgiving and Christmas and even New Year's Eve with our family. As you know, our son Marcus is finishing up with divorcing his wife. And so our 5-year-old grandson Henry and Marcus need our help. And so we're going to go and spend time with them. So I will be taking a week's vacation after Thanksgiving and also a week vacation after Christmas. But other than that, I don't think you'll even notice, other than a different background, that I'm not in town. And always a priority is that if someone needs help and you need me in person, I would come back so I can be there, be here with you. And also, I don't know how many of you went to the congregational meeting last Sunday, but we had some kind of exciting announcements. I am really excited at the possibility that Namakwa may get an intern next year. And so we scrambled to meet the deadline to apply for a grant to pay half of an intern's salary. And then the other half would be paid by me working 3/4 time, which is how I started out here back in 2011. And so we'll find out, I think probably within the next couple of weeks, whether or not we are receiving the grant. And if so, we would have a ministerial intern who would start with us probably in mid-August or September. And I think that Namakwa, I've always believed, would be just one of the best teaching congregations ever. Because this is a really warm, we're safe here to bring our whole selves. So we'll have an intern come as they are and have probably the most transformative experience in their ministerial formation. Fingers crossed with us next year. And also the board did approve, I'm not very good at taking sabbaticals, as you may have noticed. I get 1 month for each year. This is my 10th year, and I've taken a total of 3 months and 3 weeks. And so I'm taking a belated sabbatical in March and April. And yesterday we had a worship associate meeting, and the group that you just installed today as worship associates will be in our virtual pulpit for the months of March and April. So you will be in very good hands. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I encourage you to know the truth about Thanksgiving. Did you know that it was Abraham Lincoln who painted the image of the pilgrims sitting down and having a meal with the Indians? But as Janin sent out with lessons to our children, there's a story about what really happened and the fact that Abe Lincoln was doing a little bit of a PR. It was very smart of him because during the Civil War, a lot of families were torn apart. And so he was creating an image of people sitting down together and having dinner and sharing a meal. So it would be the, how do you say it? The Wampanoag side of the story. So you can look that up, and I wish you all a blessed Thanksgiving. Please be safe, and I will see you. I'm going to come to the service next week, but I'm not going to present it. And then Marcus, my son, and I are going to do the service together on December 5th. And so some of you will get to sleep in if you like, or go for a quick hike before our service, which will be at 11:30 that day. Anyway, thank you, Trish, for today. Thank you, Sarah, for your faithful Zooming. And thank you all for being such wonderful people. So we'll now have virtual coffee hour.